Takes. We're here with Anna Ruane here. And just a little bit about her. She works closely with Clemson Athletics social media team, primarily focusing on media relations, point of contact, and you've been the point of contact for football, softball, women's soccer, and lacrosse. You had an internship with the Nashville Predators as a digital and editorial content intern, and you were a previous sports writer for the Cavalier Coast Neighbors magazine and previous Clemson Men's Club ice hockey team manager. So, Anna, thank you for being here and talking with us today.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. This is a first for me, but this is fun.
Fun. So, I think to get started, obviously, I went through a couple of things that you've done and currently do. So, it would be kind of a good point to start off by maybe asking you. Well, I think that's
Yeah,
maybe
I got it.
you got it.
Or yeah, I was just gonna ask you. I
Yeah.
did some digging on LinkedIn, and I also saw that you studied abroad in Madrid, working with Real Madrid. How was that experience?
Yeah, it was super cool. It was the first year that Clemson had done that partnership, so I just kind of was like all in on it. And it was a 7-week program. The first 2 weeks we literally just toured like all of their facilities, toured a few other teams' facilities too. Super cool seeing like the difference in such a big sports industry over there compared to obviously what we have here. And then got to take classes from some industry professionals over there as well for the last 4 weeks. So yeah, really enjoyed it. Really cool opportunity. Definitely would recommend it to anybody who's kind of looking to really like dip their toes in and like get involved in any sorts of study abroad programs, but also wants to like keep it related to the major too.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
was
I
just
was.
going to ask you, sorry, CJ, just
No,
really
you
quick.
got you got.
With Clemson Athletics now, with what you currently do, could you give us like an idea of what it is exactly that you do and like what your responsibilities are and just what you're kind of doing on a day-to-day basis? I think that's interesting, like being the point of contact. That's not very like common, and I don't know, I haven't heard of it, so I'd just be curious to know like what it is exactly that is and what you do.
Yeah, for sure. So I work in communications, which it's like there's so many different things that go into it, which is why I really like it. And you kind of covered it. Like we run all the social accounts. We are point of contacts for media. So for me, like I work under full-time either staff or I work under GAs. And so if, media needs to get in contact with anybody and they're not able to get in contact with the GA or the
Mhm.
full-timer, then I'm kind of the second person under them. Honestly, that hasn't necessarily happened yet, but it's more so I'm just like a resource and just like a point of thumb for any of the teams as needed. Um, yeah, so like with football and stuff, like obviously they have a lot bigger of a media presence. So I would be at their weekly media availabilities, making myself available in the press box as well for the games. If anybody has any questions or anything, like I'm a point of contact for that. So that's kind of where that plays in.
Sorry, CJ, you can go.
Oh, I was just gonna ask how did you like get your foot in the door with like Clemson Athletics? Like, what was your starting point?
Yeah, I emailed. There's a page on the website that actually my mom had seen about getting involved in all the different internship opportunities. Sent an email to Jeff Callan, who's our head of athletic comms in the entire department, and just like I literally had just entered sports comm as a major. I actually entered as a pre-med major at Clemson. That did not last very long. Anyways, yeah, so I just entered the major, just like dry emailed him and was like, hey, like I'm interested, like would love to meet with you, met with him, and it's just kind of been, my thing ever since. The program itself has come a long way. Like obviously they do a lot of sport assignments now, which they didn't when I initially started, but that's another thing. Like if anybody's looking to get involved in college, I think that getting involved in your in-house athletics department is like the best decision that I've made so far, for sure.
Yeah. What about your internship in Nashville? How's that experience?
It was amazing. It was very like unexpected, kind of just off a whim, like started applying to stuff just because I was a semester ahead academically and knew that I could take the time off if I was able to get anything. Obviously had no expectations going into it, but that opportunity stuck and I could not have had a better opportunity with them, honestly. Like such a fun organization and hockey's such a cool sport to work in. But obviously like Nashville as a city is so cool too. and just their fan base there is so dedicated, like win or lose, they are filling the stands and everything. But more so for me, it was like the people that I worked with that were amazing. I literally was like texting one of the girls yesterday, like keeping those connections has been huge for me, but could not have had a more positive first professional sports opportunity. So I'm really grateful for it.
And what was exactly your role there? Like, what were you doing with them?
Yeah, so I was their digital and editorial content intern. So
Mhm.
everything from web development and website building to writing game recaps, attending interviews and press conferences, transcribing stuff for them. It was kind of a wide range of stuff, but really helping out wherever I can too. I also got to like dabble in social strategy and getting social content collection. So just kind of like opening as many doors as possible and really just like taking advantage of the opportunity.
Was that like a season long type thing? Like you were there the whole season?
I was only there for the spring semester, so I was there January
Okay,
to April.
nice. Okay, moving on. Who's
Yeah,
got
Keegan,
the,
I think
yeah.
you're good.
Sorry, I was just making sure. I didn't want to speak on top of
You're
anybody.
good. You're good.
I just wanted to ask, what kind of direction like do you see yourself taking like career-wise and like especially in sports? Are you more interested in doing like the social media part of it, content creation, or just kind of like PR or just more operations or on-site like behind the scenes type deal?
Yeah, no, I definitely have had my fair share of social content. I've enjoyed it, but it's not for me. I think definitely more the strategic communication slash PR side. I've been applying to some stuff with some teams, some year-long internships, so hoping one of those sticks. But yeah, whether I no preference on the sport or whatever, but definitely trying to join a PR department for a team.
So just kind of any swore all over the board, just see what opens up from hope like looking at your internships and seeing who responds.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, right now, NFL is what's open, so that's where I've been applying, but I would love to go back to hockey. I would go back to hockey in a minute. So I mean, if I were to have a preference, those would be my top two. But like I said, I feel like you have to be as open as possible when kind of working your way through the industry. And so that's kind of my approach.
No, I totally agree with that, and I feel like that's true for any industry, just being open to whatever options become available. But also, what kind of like originally I wanted to ask made you have a desire to work in sports? Like, have you always been interested in that? Because you said you applied, I think, as a med student, is that right? Or
Yeah.
got in, right?
Yeah. So I'm from Virginia Beach where there's not a professional sports background at all. So sports as a career was never something I even considered. And like I said, came here as pre-med, quickly was like, oh God, no thanks. And yeah, luckily that same fall, freshman year is when I started working for the hockey team. I just signed up for a whim on them at Tiger Prowl, I think it was. And that was really when I was like, okay, like this, this is an opportunity and something that I really enjoyed. Like the difference was that I wasn't enjoying what I was doing pre-med. I was kind of using like what I was doing with hockey as an outlet because it was so enjoyable. And it was my mom who was like, hey, like there's a sports communication major, really kind of pushed that for me. So that's kind of where I like got my passion for sports. And then obviously through what I've done with athletics and through what I've done with the Preds, like it's only really built on that desire for me to kind of continue doing sports related endeavors. But yeah, it was not always something that I considered.
I really
Yeah,
love.
and I wanted to just, sorry, Keegan. I just wanted to ask you really quick. So you say like your, I guess like primary focus is PR communications. You don't really want to work in social media and content curation. So this might be a really crazy question, but like what would be your ultimate like big goal, like end goal working in PR and communications? Maybe like a company position, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would just be like an executive level position
Hmm.
with a team or with a league even.
Yeah.
That's kind of the pathway that I see for myself right now, obviously
Mhm.
years and years and years down the line. But that's what I would say.
Awesome. Does anybody have any more questions for her?
Let me think.
Mhm.
So in Madrid, did you get to see like the business side of um like dealing with the sports team and stuff?
So, kind of, we would have a lot of
Yeah.
like speakers come and talk to all of us, and there were a few who were on the business side, the like ticket sales
Yeah.
side, and like there were a few who were from Bernabeu itself rather than from the team. So we would hear about their opinions and stuff, but it was more so a focus on like supporting the team and like um commercializing the team more so than
Yeah.
anything else.
Did you learn a lot of Spanish when you were there or what?
No. No,
No? Dang.
I have okay-ish Spanish and I definitely
Yeah,
used it, but my friends from Clemson who maybe don't have as much, it was a struggle, but it
they were
was fun.
struggling. Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
struggle.
I wanted to ask too, like to go off of that experience, like how was working with that team and like what exactly were you doing with that team and everything and commercializing?
So we didn't necessarily work with the team. We were just there studying with their
Hmm.
representatives. But yeah, so like the classes we took were one was like commercialization overall, and then another was like large event management. Um, and our professors weren't from Real Madrid themselves. They were like from partnership organizations of Real Madrid.
Hmm.
So yeah, just kind of, it was more so like hearing from industry professionals in obviously what is like the NFL of Europe, that I really took away from the experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask like what skills do you think you learned that like best helped you like with what you do here?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think overall like the strategies for like presenting information, I feel like I took a lot away from like there was this one specific guy who he's on their digital content side for Real Madrid, and he was just kind of talking through like I think he literally just put like one partnership marketing content project that he had in front of us and was just like, this is how we did it, this is why we did it, this is how we kept everyone happy, and just kind of like seeing the layers to like such a simple project was something that I really took away because I think with sports like it's easy to see such surface level stuff. And obviously, like once you're trying to get involved, you really realize how layered it is and how deep it is and how many people are involved in a singular project. So I'd say like that knowledge and understanding is what I've brought with me and used with me the most.
Yeah, and that's like one of the biggest sports like organizations in the world. So that's a really cool experience.
Do that. So
Okay.
does anybody have any more questions for Anna before we let her go? No. Well, Anna, thank you so much for just talking with us really quick. We really appreciate it, and we hope to stay in touch and can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
guys. This
thank
was
you.
fun.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So much. Good luck with your internships.
Thanks. Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.
So we're going to be talking about chapter 5, which discuss sports writing for newspapers, magazines, websites, all the above. And so I would kind of like to start us off by saying, like, how do we feel about technological advancements, especially with sports writing, sports social media today? I think we're used to seeing more traditional and thinking of traditional forms of sports media and just writing in general, looking at things like newspapers, magazines, and radio. But we're moving more towards we have apps now, we have social media, we have YouTube videos, like all the above. And so I just want to know how everyone kind of felt about that. Maybe like what kind of journalism and outlets do you guys prefer and things of like that sort.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I use like Instagram for like all my
Yeah.
like sports. I'm not reading a newspaper like
Yeah.
articles or anything. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I just get it off of like either the ESPN app or like
Yeah.
Instagram or TikTok or something.
And I was going to bring up the ESPN app too, because I feel like everything now is just so instant. Like
Yeah.
you can follow whatever teams you're interested in and have like your own curated feed on that app. So I think that's one of my favorites for sure. I mean, I like watching interviews and like that type of journalism. You have like post-game interviews that are live and you can get like even in-game interviews now. So it's really crazy. But yeah, I mean, I really appreciate it. I think with those advancements too, like you're kind of maybe there's less of an appreciation in a sense just because it is so instant, like
Yeah.
people would usually have to wait for that kind of information, but now it's just like as soon as something happens, you get a notification from ESPN breaking.
Yeah. And it's instant. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like with like Adam Schefter, you'll just get like a
Yeah.
alert on your phone or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always him. How do you guys feel?
I can agree. I mean, I use the ESPN app. I don't follow a bunch of major sports teams, so I'm being
Yeah.
completely honest. I pretty much
Yeah.
just follow Clemson football and Clemson baseball and like the Braves. That's pretty much it. But I definitely am victim to just like not even like reading the news. I just will
Yeah.
definitely, especially during this football season, looking at who's predicted to win, like what are our chances, who are the players that they're comparing that are like gonna
Yeah.
like do better, things like that.
I also follow the ESPN app, but I do follow a lot of the sports that I watch or their organization. I do follow them on social media. So
Mhm.
anytime anything's going on, I can always know I can get an update from like Instagram or TikTok, which is weird nowadays. But
Yeah.
I feel like with so many of their fans being young, the only way we kind of engage is really on social media. So it works best for them.
And I was gonna say, like, on the topic of social media, like, do you guys, because I could see this, but I want like kind of everybody's opinion. Like, do you guys feel like maybe sports journalism is kind of becoming a little bit toxic in the sense of like, I feel like surrounding sports and especially in social media, there's just so much like drama and hate, like so much around. Do you guys think that it's with these advancements that it's becoming more toxic at all?
I
I
just feel
think.
like
Oh.
no, you can go ahead.
I
Sorry.
was gonna say, I don't think that the organizations like they're making it toxic. I think the
Yeah,
fans are making it toxic.
I agree.
So it's kind of on the fans. They kind of don't know that like the difference between an athlete and their personal life. They try to like if they don't like them, they are like so much hate towards them. I'm like, guys, they're still a person at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with like social media, like before you couldn't just like comment on like an athlete's post, but now you can like DM them or like comment on anything, and everyone shares their opinion like
Mhm.
instantly. So
And then I guess I have another question, like what kind of journalism content do you all prefer? I mean, there's things like there's like feel good stories that people have, or again, we could talk about drama and just like negativity. There's, like trade news, like news of that sort. Like what kind of journalism do you guys prefer that really like catches your attention when it comes to sports journalism and social media?
I
I'd say
mean, I
like
can't
the breaking
I like.
news.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say like the breaking headlines like that pop up
Yeah,
on your phone. That's the stuff that I always read. So
same. Keegan, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I like the breaking news, and I can't lie, I definitely do like when there's drama. I like to not be involved in it, but I like to, obviously indulge in it and
Yeah.
just think about what's going on.
I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm with you on that. Like, everyone loves drama and hates to admit it. Like, the breaking news, like, again, like, I'm like very close to Philly, so like Nick Castellanos and everything that went on with him, just like, I was into it. I was reading it up like all over my ESPN app. It was just pretty funny and enjoyable. So I agree with you on that, and it's instant.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and sometimes you kind of have to like take like the headline with a grain of salt though, because like you could read a
Yeah,
headline and then you actually read it, and it's a lot different than like
yeah,
they just do it to draw attention and stuff. So
100%. So we talked about obviously like looking back at the Olympics and even like I did notice that I think it was the
Hockey
women
team
yeah hockey team they denied visiting or like visiting the
denied the
president
visit. Yeah, the
yeah
visit to
but
the White
the
House.
men
Yeah.
did and I was just curious, like, because again in class we talked about, I guess, people being likable, and he talks about journalism just like kind of avoiding, political and social ideas and conversations. And like, do you guys think that that kind of makes either the women's or men's team more likable or less likable for
Um,
fans and audience?
I I think it makes the women more likable.
Hmm.
Not saying that the men aren't likable, but
Yeah.
they only declined it because of what the president said in regard to the men in the video. So I
Yeah.
felt like he was showing a lack of respect for the women athlete as he does for men, which is
Mhm.
like if you're going to show us like no respect, why would I want to come to the White House in the first place? But then again, athletes, they everybody has their own political opinions and political
Mhm.
views. So I don't see anything wrong with like turning down the visit to the White House because even though you're there representing the US, you don't necessarily have to be in agreement with the political standing of the US in a
And I
sense.
think like, yeah, and I like what you said about that because I think there's also going to be people who are like, well, I don't like them because they're disrespectful to the United States and the president and they don't want to respect and visit him. You know what I mean? So like I could see both ways with that too, and it could go either way for them, especially being women because they tend to get more, scrutiny for that.
Yeah.
But it's like the incident that happened like with in like a couple years ago with LSU in Iowa,
Yeah.
where the first lady wanted to invite Iowa even though they lost, and it's like they've never done that before. Like I
Yeah.
just feel like sometimes it should be a separation between politics and
I agree
athletes.
100%.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of hard to avoid with the Olympics though, because you're literally representing the country. So like
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to keep that out of the discussion. It's different
Yeah.
than like average or like normal professional sports. So I don't know.
100%. All right. Well, I think we're good on episode 2. So we thank you all for watching. We'll see everybody next time.
One, two.